Welcome to Chapter 4 Ethical Considerations and Responsible Nudging. Nudging is a powerful behavioral tool, but with great power comes great responsibility. In this chapter, we'll explore how to apply nudges ethically, transparently, and respectfully in higher education settings, so that staff feel empowered and not manipulated. So let's start with a big question. Is nudging manipulation? It's a valid concern and one we take seriously. Nudging works by shaping choice environments, making certain behaviors easier or more attractive without removing the freedom of choice. We've seen a couple of different examples throughout this whole training, but a great example that I often think of is in a supermarket. Quite often, you'll have milk at the very end of a supermarket. The logic is you have to go through your whole supermarket to choose different products before you actually get to where you need it. So, obviously, the supermarket in that situation isn't forcing you to buy anything, but the fact that they make you see all the other products makes you wonder. So, if used poorly, nudging can feel influential in ways that people aren't fully aware of, or it can also come across as a top-down decision-making masked as encouragement. So, especially if the intent isn't clearly communicated and the benefit doesn't extend to the individual. That's why the Nudging 360 project established an independent nudging ethics council. Their job was to review all of the toolkit nudges and establish a set of ethical guidelines to help administrators apply these strategies with integrity. The Nudging Ethics Council was composed of behavioral scientists, educators, and policy experts who provided independent oversight throughout the development of the nudging toolkit. Their role was to ensure that each nudge was not only effective, but also ethically sound by reviewing proposed strategies, advising on language, identifying potential risks, and helping to find the core ethical principles that now underpin the entire framework. By involving the council from the start, the project ensured that ethical considerations were not an afterthought, but a guiding force. As noted by the council, ethical nudging in education is about creating enabling environments without removing agency. That means that staff should always feel they're being invited, not instructed or cornered. The council held several core principles to do this, which included transparency, that is, make it clear that the nudge is happening and why. People should understand the intention behind the behavioral prompt. Having respect for autonomy, nudges should never remove the choice or coerce action. They should make the desired behavior easier, not compulsory. Proportionality. The influence of a nudge should match the importance of the behavior it's targeting. Use subtle nudges for low-stakes decisions and be more cautious for sensitive topics. It also needs to be beneficial to the user. Make sure the nudge is genuinely helpful to the educator, not just convenient for the system. Nudges should aim for shared value. And accountability. Keep nudges open to feedback and revision. If staff push back, listen and adjust. Let's take an example. A subtle nudge might be placing share your success links in a teaching newsletter, encouraging peer-led learning. As long as participation is optional, the messaging is clear, and educators can choose not to engage. This respects autonomy while encouraging a positive shift in behavior. But now imagine a university rolls out a dashboard that ranks lectures publicly based on LMS activity. Even if the goal is to boost digital participation, the competitive framing of public visibility may cause anxiety, damage trust, or discourage those with different teaching approaches. In this case, a well-intentioned nudge risks becoming coercive and may ultimately backfire. That's why how a nudge is framed and delivered is just as important as what it aims to achieve. You'll find that all nudges in a 360 toolkit have been reviewed for clarity of intent, fairness and impact, and flexibility in application. And the toolkit includes tips on how to talk about nudging the staff, so the strategy becomes part of your open leadership culture. And there are a few best practices to keep in mind. Always explain the purpose of your nudge. Offer alternatives or opt out where possible. Use affirming language, not corrective or controlling tones. Frame nudges as invitations, not obligations, and gather feedback on how they're received and adjust if needed. When done well, nudging is not about controlling people. It's about supporting better choices in ways that feel empowering. It respects the expertise and autonomy of educators. It makes it easier for them to engage with digital tools in ways that work for them. And just as importantly, ethical nudging builds trust over time. When staff see that nudges are destined to support their goals, not enforce compliance, they're more likely to engage, collaborate, and view change themselves. In our final chapter, we'll show you how to scale up nudging efforts across your institution and create a sustainable culture of digital engagement. See you there.